Hello, good morning. It's good to have your company for the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. I'm Rhoda Anonam.
And I'm Comfort Amodo. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start off with the headlines.
Federal government says proscription of Islamic movement of Nigeria is a necessary step to discourage violence, murder and willful destruction of public and private property.
And President Buhari approves the establishment of National Action Committee for Implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement.
And on business news, stakeholders advocate continuous relationship amongst African countries to deepen trade relations.
And health expert brainstorm on strategies to kick out hepatitis by the year 2030.
We'll begin the news at 10 with the proscription of IMN. The presidency says the proscription of the Islamic movement in Nigeria has nothing to do with banning the larger number of peaceful and lawful-abiding Shiites in the country from practicing their religion. Instead, it was to discourage wanton violence, murder and willful destruction of public and private property. In a statement by Special Senior Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the presidency explains that contrary to the claim by IMN that it has banned them from practicing their religion, government has not banned Shiites from observing their 5 daily prayers and going to Mecca to perform the holy pilgrimage. It says the IMN adopted blatantly false and deceptively to deliberately change the narrative in order to gain sympathy and divert the attention of the world from its terrorist activities. The presidency agrees that the Constitution protects freedom of worship, but not to the detriment of the society, especially where such freedom harms others, breaks the law and order, criminal behavior and disregard for rights of other human lives and property. The statement says the presidency and the government will not tolerate any of such acts.
And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has paid a condolence visit to the Zaria home of slain reporter Precious Owolabi. The Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the Vice President made this known in a statement. Precious Owolabi was a core member serving with Channels TV who was killed alongside a commissioner of police while covering the violent confrontation between the police and Shiites in Abuja. The Vice President was accompanied by Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. We'll bring you details of this in our subsequent bulletin.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari strongly condemns the dastardly act on a funeral procession in Maiduguri, Borno State, causing the death of tens of mourners. The president says he has, however, received assurances from the armed forces that the terrorists who committed these killings will pay a big price for their actions, adding that the federal government is firmly and resolutely committed to taking all necessary measures to safeguard the nation's security, with emphasis that the administration is determined to end the menace of terrorism. Already, a major exercise has begun to hunt down the attackers, with air patrols by the nation's Air Force and ground operations by the Army. The president assures the residents of Maiduguri and its citizens that settled in IDP camps that they will receive increased protection from further attacks by the assailants.
And troops of Operation Harbin Kunama 3, Hadarin Daji and personnel of the Nigerian police have arrested some bandits and other criminals terrorizing people in and around Katsina State. A statement by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 17th Brigade Lieutenant Mohammed Isa Yahaya indicates that the criminals numbering 17 specialize in robbery, cattle rustling and kidnapping were intercepted in the village within the local government area during a combined operation. Several arms, 2 motorcycles, 20 handsets were recovered from the criminals. Leader of the group, who was name withheld, who hails from Delta State, is set to serve as medical aid of the group, providing medical assistance to the wounded bandits. He was said to have confessed to treating the pregnant wife of one of them, who is still at large. The Nigerian army promises to continue to tackle the onslaught against the bandits, while asking the general public to provide credible information on any suspicious activities of persons or groups to security agencies.
Now, still talking security, 8 bandits have been arrested while one shot dead during an exchange of fire between operatives of Operation Wild Stroke and people suspected to be engaged in armed banditry and kidnapping.
Commander of the operation, Major General Adeyemi Yekini, stated this while briefing newsmen in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, on the encounter. Charles Abba reports.
Operation Wellstroke has continued to fight armed banditry, kidnapping and other criminal activities in Benue, Nasarawa and Taraba states to instill peace and tranquility. Commander of Operation Wellstroke, Major General Adeyemi Yekini, explained that the latest operation embarked upon by the command led to the clampdown of the suspected armed bandits and kidnappers from Benue and Nasarawa states.
Enough is enough.
The command recovered 1 AK-47 and 1 self-operational rifle, 3 locally made pistols, 4 locally made guns and ammunition.
Actually, there are supposed to be 10 and not 8. But 5 are from Benue State and 5 from Nasarawa State. But one was shot dead by troops during exchange of fire at Zakibiam.
Major General Yekini, who attributed the success of the operation to information from members of the public, assured the people of the command's determination to reduce crime to its barest minimum. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Still staying with security, the Edo State government is collaborating with State Police Command in exposing kidnappers' hideout along the Benin-Lagos road.
They have commenced the clearing of bushes along the road to checkmate criminal activities. Good Luck Eneni reports that the exercise will stretch from Benin to Ore in Ondo State.
The Benin-Lagos Express Road is known to be a busy route due to its strategic position to the economic development of the country. But for some time now, travelers have been battling insecurity as armed bandits and kidnappers have taken advantage of bushes to unleash terror on the road users. To arrest this situation, the Edo State government and the police have begun the clearing of bushes 30 meters away from the road, in addition to the deployment of security personnel. The Commissioner of Police, Edo State, Damala Mohammed, who was on the site to see things for himself, told journalists that the exercise will extend to Ore.
This will give us a proper view. Whenever they are coming out, we can see them and we can counter them. But beyond this, we are going inside the bush on a daily basis to ensure that all their camps are being destroyed.
The road users who are happy with the initiative want it sustained.
It's a very good one.
We are here for the road because we don't get mind to move as we like. So now we get mind.
The sustainability of this program will be what we enhance and add added value to what we are looking for.
The state government and the police advise that citizens should keep faith with the security architecture now in place. In Benin, Good Luck Eneni, NTA News.
In the meantime, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has visited Ganjiram town to sympathize with the family of those who lost their lives when gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram terrorists attacked Badu village in Gwanzai, local government area, Borno State. Muhammad Goni reports.
Governor Babagana Umar had, while condoling the bereaved families, assured to investigate the incident and provide continued support to the families.
We personally came here to condole them. I sincerely sympathize with the families, and may Almighty Allah in His infinite wisdom admit them to Jannatul Firdaus, and may the families bear the fortitude of this irreparable loss.
While in Gajiram, Professor Babagana Umar met with the security operatives and the council chairman behind closed doors. The attack on Badu village, according to the council chairman Mohamed Bulama, came 2 weeks after a similar attack on the community by suspected Boko Haram members, but were repelled with the combined efforts of the residents, civilian JTF as well as hunters, killing 10 members of the insurgents and seized 10 AK-47 rifles belonging to them and handed over same to the police. Residents of Badu who spoke to NTA News appeal for deployment of more security personnel to the area to forestall future occurrence. Badu village is situated 25 kilometers in the hinterland away from Gajiram, headquarters of the local government. Governor Babagana Umara also sympathized with victims of Badu attack at Maiduguri Specialist Hospital, where he assured them of government's support. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Tugoni, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10, and we'll now go over to the National Assembly, where we have Ignatius Nkwohu standing by live. Just last week, the National Assembly commenced the screening of ministerial nominees, has screened a large number so far, just a few of them left, and they are meant to begin the screening this morning. So Ignatius Nkwohu, let's get an update of what's happening over there, and of course,
There's like this, there's both chambers of the National Assembly don't sit, but today is quite peculiar because the Senate set aside its rule to be able to sit today and continue with the screening of ministerial nominees, which they've taken seriously right from the day of its commitments since Wednesday. And then so far 31 ministerial nominees have been screened, and then remaining 12, and it's expected that by today at least 9 of them will be screened. None of them will pass through the legislative mill, But then, so far, so good. It's been hitch-free. Here, the crowd or the rowdy situation is not as much as it was at the beginning of this screening. This is partly because quite a number of them have already been screened. And then the House of Representatives is on recess. And so it's only Senate. The Senate chamber is the only chamber that is open here today. Well, we'll be very in a month from now, we expect that this screening will commence. But we have a senator here who wants to tell us how he has seen this screening in the last 3 days, and then what we expect today. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so far so good. We have about 12, we have 12 nominees remaining to be screened, and so far so good. We've done our job very well. We've been thorough. Particularly on those who have not held any high-profile government offices before. We had to grill them very well. Those that were a little bit soft on them were those that were either in the Senate or House of Representatives, or they were former governors. Because, for you to be a governor, for anyone to be a governor, you must have passed through stringent screening arrangement before becoming a governor. So also somebody who has been a senator must have passed through stringent screening arrangement before he was able to become a senator. So also goes for any member who was a former House of Representatives who came here before us. So we've done our bit. We've done what we are supposed to do, and their documents have been submitted to us. We'll continue to screen those documents. We continue to screen them, and by tomorrow we should be able to round up. If there's anyone that has any question to answer, of course, he will not be able to go through, will not confirm such person. But we are hopeful that we don't have any of that kind of case. In fact, the president has done very well because he took his time to choose people of proven integrity, people that have profound pedigree, and it's very difficult to find any fault, coming from this the class of people that have been submitted to us by Mr. President. But we'll continue to screen. We are going to screen and rescreen and rescreen, and to make sure that we don't leave anything that needs to be addressed without being addressed.
Okay. Now tomorrow the screening is supposed to complete, and then followed by confirmation. So are we expecting that the whole exercise, both confirmation and screening, will eventually end tomorrow? I
don't want to speak for the Senate because I'm not one of the spokespersons for the Senate. But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to round up tomorrow. I'm hopeful because we have 12 now. I do think that we'll be able to do at least not less than 9 or maybe 8, and then we'll round up tomorrow and get the confirmation done tomorrow entirely. So I am hopeful, but I'm not a spokesperson for the Senate. So don't take me as an authority in this respect. But I am just giving my view.
All right, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, out of the 12 nominees that are remaining for screening, 4 immediate past ministers have not been screened, and we'll be expecting them here today. And we have 2 female nominees, and one of them is a former senator. So we expect that at least 2 of these 12 nominees, 2 of them will take a bow and go. That is what we have for you from the Red Chamber at the moment.
All right, thank you very much, Ignatius Nkor, there on an update of what's to be expected today when the Senate reconvenes to continue the screening of the remaining 12 ministerial nominees. And of course, just let our viewers know that once the screening begins, you can watch here live on the NTA network service of the NTA. All right, we'll take a short break now, and when we come back, the news continues.
Do you want to own your own home?
Do you want to learn about new building techniques and building materials?
Do you want to expand your business, or do you need new investment opportunities?
Are you looking for land for your projects?
Do you have houses to sell? Are you looking for finance or mortgage for your house?
Or do you need new partners?
This is a major opportunity for you to sell, build or buy houses.
Come meet with housing estate developers at the Abuja Investment Expo for housing construction and investment.
Organized by Shelter Aid Organization in partnership with the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Date 30th July to 1st August 2019.
Venue, Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, International Trade and Convention Center, beside ShopRite, Airport Road, Abuja.
For more inquiries, please call 080-331-41875 or 080-954-92959 or email us at shelteraidlimited@yahoo.com or visit our website www.abujainvestmentexpo.com.
Abuja Investment Expo 2019.
Don't miss this experience.
This is NTA News 24.
Thanks for staying tuned with the news on NTA News 24. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the establishment of a National Action Committee for the implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which he signed on behalf of Nigeria at the 12th Extraordinary Session of the African Union Heads of State on the 7th of July 2019 in Niamey, Republic of Niger. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the National Action Committee will be comprised of representatives of ministries and agencies with competent and relevant jurisdiction, and selected stakeholders, groups from the private sector and the civil society to coordinate the implementation of all the free trade agreement and the readiness of the interventions. The National Action Committee will, upon inauguration, take a process of engagement with stakeholders to sensitize them on the opportunities and challenges of the free trade agreement with preparedness plans for Nigerian economy. And upon ratification, Nigeria will domesticate the agreement by incorporating it into existing laws of enacting new laws, as appropriate engagement shall shortly start with the 9th National Assembly. The Free Trade Agreement, which creates a single market for goods and services and movement on persons to increase intra-African trade and deepen African economic integration, has phase 1 and 2 negotiations. The statement further says the federal government of Nigeria is committed to ensuring that Africa achieves a free and fair trade environment governed by rules that are predictable, enforceable, and in line with the intent and objectives of our content, which are growth through increased intra-African trade, job creation, and improved terms of trade in a rapidly changing global economy.
And on business news, stakeholders advocate continued relationship amongst African countries to deepen trade relations. Chimobi Walter has more.
Stakeholders advocate continued relationship among African countries to deepen trade relations. This is on the fringes of renewed efforts between the President, African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, and the President, Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, during a breakfast meeting with Nigerians private sector operators in Abuja. The aim is to open up different areas of collaboration for Nigerian investors to take advantage of the resources and the enabling business environment in the Congo.
India is a massive hydropower potential for this country. The potential is 100,000 megawatts total. Think about it. And we're trying to light up our power Africa, make that my biggest thing as president of the African Development Bank. So, if we can actually help the Democratic Republic of Congo to actually unlock the potential of India, Africa is meat. Industrialization, all the things that Victor was talking about continental free trade area, market of $3.3 trillion. You can't do anything on that unless they...
À faire de même, nous allons accélérer le développement de l'Afrique.
We will be able to accelerate the development of Africa. To come back to my country, the Congo Democratic Republic, I would like to say that my country offers such a large opportunity for exchange and business.
Meanwhile, Nigerian MSMEs are ready to harness the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement entered into by the Nigerian government through improved value addition on locally sourced products. This was disclosed by stakeholders and business regulatory agencies in Abuja during a business engagement and products fair in Abuja to sensitize small business owners on the gains of entrepreneurship and the need to take advantage of the present administration's effort to open up the business environment within the country.
We are hoping to expose them. To the world of business beyond home business, beyond office business, beyond actually selling to just friends and family. So if we're able to do this and they are able to take advantage, leverage on the opportunities being listed out, we are hoping to see them go higher.
Items on display were varieties of products from textiles to cosmetics and catering services. In Abuja, I'm Chimobi Walter Naji.
Up to investigate the alleged pipeline explosion in Komkom and Uzoma community of Oyibo local government area of Rivers State has visited the affected areas for on-the-spot assessments of the incident. This is to unraveling facts behind the mishap that resulted in loss of lives and property.
National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the findings of the ad hoc committee will be employed in line with the action to foster future occurrence.
Destiny Ukeze is one of the survivors of the alleged pipeline explosion at Komkom and Izoma communities of Oyimbo local government area of Rivers State in June this year. The visit by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee to the communities may have brought hope and succor to Destiny Ukeze and the likes who may have suffered similar situation. How much more for the families of those who have lost their loved ones in the incident.
Over 100 and something persons is losing their life here. People who came in that early morning to tap Tombo, people came to farm. People, some houses are cracked. We are peaceful people and we are gentlemen and we want peace to reign and want something to be done.
I know quite well that all the institutions and agencies that are involved in this will interface and engage them, and will tell you that at the end of the day, we'll get to the end of this, not for now alone, so that in future such things will not happen.
I believe that justice will be done, whether it is vandalization, whether it is rupture or negligence on the part of the operators. That will be determined through the investigation of this committee. Thank God the Senate is also involved in this matter.
Now that attention of the federal government is being drawn to the plight of the affected persons, the traditional ruler, His Royal Majesty Eze Stephanus Nweke, and other members of the community blamed the incident on nonchalant attitude on the part of oil companies operating in the area and demanded adequate compensation and improvement on infrastructure to cushion the effect.
The people of Oyibo and Aham area has suffered neglect.
Following motion of urgent public importance by Representative Chisom Dike from the area, the ad hoc committee was given 4 weeks to carry out the investigation and report back to the House for further legislative action. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is seeking collaboration with Chevron Nigeria Limited on its establishment of a condensed pillar refinery. The Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mele Kyari, made the request during a meeting with the Managing Director of Chevron Nigeria Limited, Jeff Erwin, in Abuja. A statement by the Group General Manager Public Affairs of the NNPC, Ndu Ugamadu quotes Mr. Mele Kyari as desirous of Chevron and NNPC working together to build a new refinery that would increase oil production and end fuel importation in Nigeria.
And now the Yobe State government, in partnership with the Nigerian Shippers Council, are to embark on the construction of Trailers Park and Mechanic Village in Potoskum town, the most populous and cosmopolitan area in the state. Governor Mai Mala Buni disclosed this during his maiden town hall meeting with stakeholders of the local government. Mustafa Yusuf Musa reports that approval has been granted and already 50 hectares of land have been allocated for the project.
The town hall meeting with political stakeholders, market groups, transporters union, farmers association, and community opinion leaders in Potoskum local government is an avenue created by Governor Mai Mala Buni to freely hear from the people by way of exchange of ideas. Governor Buni told the gathering that as chairman of Nigerian Shippers Council, he has already directed the council to liaise with relevant stakeholders to allocate suitable land for the planned construction of Trailer Park and Mechanic Village. Already, a 50-hectare land was secured, and very soon the project will commence a development the government and stakeholders believe will provide employment opportunities, reduce poverty, and create wealth to hundreds of residents and beyond. This is the first time town hall meeting with a sitting governor in Potoskum town, something which was appreciated by the stakeholders. In Damaturu, I am Mustafa Yusuf Musa, NTA News.
We'll take a short break now and the news continues when we come back, so stay with us.
Yes. Oh. Now my dirty they smell like this. Now to throw away am quick. This kind smell fit make man sick. That woman throw away dirty for ground. Me sef go do the same this time around.
Hold up. See, to do this kind badness by the book, you make sure say person no dey look. And then you drop am nicely. Bros, nothing will happen. Trust me.
See, if you throw away dirty for ground, another person sef throw away dirty. Everybody come begin to throw away dirty for ground. Everywhere go come dey smell. Gutter go block, road go block, and you will like to dey dab. Now you say no more dabbing for you be that too. Dab, 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 dab. Yeah.